something unthinkable just happened above Seoul. As millions of people walked under the night sky, a satellite, launched by SpaceX, quietly passed overhead. And at that exact moment, a group of fans looked up, tears in their eyes, hearts full, because that satellite carried a memory they wanted the universe to hold on to forever. And the reason? A boy named Park Jimin and the album that changed their lives, MUSE. A year ago, Jimin opened his heart to the world. He wasn't trying to be perfect. He wasn't trying to be loud. He was trying to be honest. And in that honesty, he became a mirror for thousands who were learning how to love themselves again. His second solo album, MUSE, wasn't just a musical release. It was a confession. It was pain transformed into poetry. It was hope written in harmony. And now, on the first anniversary of MUSE, fans from every corner of the globe have done something we've never seen before. A celebration so beautiful, so heartfelt, it feels less like a fandom event and more like a movement of the soul. Let's start in Seoul. The fan-based Jimin Data organized something that seems more like a sci-fi dream than a fan project. They tracked SpaceX's Transporter 12, yes, an actual rocket-launched satellite, as it orbited right above Yongsan, the district where Jimin's agency stands. They captured that moment, not for the headlines, but to etch it into the stars. To say, even the sky holds space for you, Jimin. But this tribute didn't stop in the skies. It dove into the deepest parts of the ocean. Fans adopted a blue whale through the World Wildlife Fund, one of the most majestic and endangered creatures on Earth. Why a blue whale? Because like Jimin, it sings in frequencies few can hear. Because like Jimin, it swims silently but powerfully through vast emotional depths. Because like Jimin, it deserves to be protected, fiercely, tenderly, always. On land, the tributes became even more visible and louder. In South Korea, the fanbase All for Jimin Corps lit up the taxi stand outside HYBE headquarters. From July 10th to August 9th, every car that stopped there was greeted by Jimin's face, his voice, his presence, reminding the world where it all began. In Japan, a city that never sleeps paused for a moment as Park Jimin Japan took over the giant screen at Osaka's Tombori station. Crowds stood mesmerized as Jimin's song Who echoed through the streets, his eyes lighting up the night, as if he was right there singing just for them. But Asia was only the beginning. In Argentina, bright digital billboards shimmered in Barrio Chino, spreading Jimin's image to pedestrians, commuters, and late-night wanderers. In Peru, a massive advertisement towered over Lima's boulevard, stopping strangers in their tracks. His presence wasn't just online. Yes, it was in their sky, on their streets, in their hearts. But perhaps the most touching gestures didn't come in pixels or lights. They came in acts of kindness. In Russia, the fanbase donated to the Tiger House Hospice, a healing center for large cats like tigers, animals often misunderstood, just like sensitive souls are. Fans said, Jimin taught us that strength and softness can coexist. In Colombia, fans contributed to the K-Heart Seniors Aula Dorada program, a project supporting the elderly. Through care kits and emotional support, they gave back to a generation that too often feels forgotten. Because Jimin's message is clear, no one deserves to be invisible. And then came the tidal wave online. On July 19th, hashtags exploded. Jimin MUSE 1 year celebration hit #1 in South Korea. Nub 1 year with Who? No 1 year with MUSE? And Hertz Waiting for Jimin swept across timelines in every language imaginable. But these weren't just digital trends. They were love letters. They were fans saying, we remember the first time MUSE touched our hearts, and we'll remember it forever. This wasn't a marketing campaign. This wasn't organized by a company. This was love, raw, human, and global. From sky to sea, from tigers to tweets, from Osaka to Lima, this was a tribute only Jimin could inspire. Because when you sing with truth, people feel it. When you walk with vulnerability, people walk beside you. And when you give love without asking for it back, the world gives it right back, 1,000-fold. So if someone ever asks you, what's the big deal about BTS fans? Show them this. Show them what happened when one man dropped an album, and the world answered with satellites, whales, and unconditional love. Jimin, this is for you. Happy first anniversary of MUSE. You didn't just make music, you made history.